Bleach is one of the most popular anime of all time and has recently come back after a 10-year-long anime hiatus. Now that the show is back, many fans are once again talking about the villains of the series thus far. Which one is the strongest? Which one beats this one? These are all questions people are asking, but which one is the most intelligent? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss the top 10 villains in Bleach ranked by intelligence. At number 10, Grimmjow Jägerjak. Grimmjow's nature is very specific to his character, as he is a shoot first, ask questions later sort of person. He's the 6th Espada, and has very specific moments where he shines. His genius comes in the form of his attacks, as well as his brash and short-tempered nature. He also shines against his main opponent, Ichigo, as the two characters mirror one another. Grimmjow is a foe that should never be mistaken for being a feral beast driven by anger, as he is calculated the vast majority of the time. In all of his battles in the series, he managed to quickly find and exploit his opponent and take over their weakness. This comes in handy when dealing with people who are stronger than him, like how Ichigo was towards the end of their match in Hueco Mundo. However, the one thing about his character that is usually his downfall is the arrogance he has, as he believes that he is strongest, and through that strength and cunning, he is superior to those around him. This aspect of him circumvents the intelligence that eventually led him to his defeat at the hands of Ichigo. Number 9, Coyote Stark. Stark is the first Espada, meaning he's numero uno in terms of power. He is a very lethargic cowboy and is one of the foes that should not be underestimated in a fight. He may be lazy and aloof, especially in comparison to his main opponents during the series, but that doesn't mean that he carries less strength with him. The character has unlimited Ryatsu, meaning he can fire his focused blasters infinitely. He is cautious and observant, meaning that Stark is able to remain cool and collected whilst fighting some of the trickiest opponents, such as Shunsui. His analytical skills allow him to do this, and he was able to fight against the vast majority of the Soul Reapers with ease. During his main fight in the series against the second squad captain, he's able to determine the ability of his Shikai very quickly, which is bringing children's games to life. Shunsui then attempted to confuse the lone wolf by combining two of his games together, which would have led to a finishing blow on Stark. However, with his cunning and intelligence, he was able to see through the attack and blast a point-blank attack at Shunsui. He has a very high innate intellect, but the one thing that couldn't keep him alive and that he couldn't overcome was his own will to live once he lost half of his soul. Number 8, Scialopora Grans. The mad scientist that nearly killed two of our protagonists is a self-described being of perfection by the name of Grans. This belief of him being the best is born out of his pure intelligence, as he seeks out ways to prove that he is the best out of everyone near him. However, during his fight against another mad scientist, Mayuri Kurotsuchi, his arrogance became a problem. In one of the most quotable speeches within Bleach, Mayuri lays out everything that is at fault with Granz's persona and mindset as a man of science. He said that he lacks imagination and that perfection is merely a dead end to evolution. It's such a beautiful quote, and the way to take down someone as arrogant as Granz. Number 7, Tyr Haribel. Taking over the number 3 position among the Espada after Neliel's accident, Tyr Haribel quickly made the number her own and employed an all-female fraction. Though her subordinates may bicker and fight with one another, it is through her example and strategic leadership that they stay in line and fight together cohesively to terrifying results. One of the more taciturn members of the Espada, Haribel is able to remain level-headed and observe her enemy from afar, allowing them to tire themselves out before she enters, all but guaranteeing a victory. Throughout her matchup with fan favorite Toshiro Hitsugiya, both their strengths of water-based attacks and battle tact complement one another and force them into a war of attrition. Number 6, Askin Nak Lavar. This one covers some manga spoilers, so if you're waiting for the scene to be animated within Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War, please skip to the next person. Askin Nak Lavar is the stylish death dealer himself, and fights some of the strongest characters within Bleach during the ending of the 1000-Year Blood War. He has some very unique Quincy abilities that were difficult to defend against even by Kisuke Urahara. Their fight pushed the ex-captain over the edge and made him uncover his coveted Bankai for the first time in the series. Though he was very intelligent and nearly even took down Urahara, in the end, he just wasn't enough for the ex-captain. Number 5, Ulquiorra Cipher. The Espada of Emptiness, the Quattro Espada Ulquiorra, is a difficult opponent for the series' lead, Ichigo, to face off against. The perfect foil to the series' brash and emotion-driven protagonist, Ulquiorra is able to make logical decisions through a calm and collected demeanor. By remaining unfeeling, Ulquiorra is able to remain steadfast and not be blinded by matters he would consider trivial. His strategic thinking is sound, and it's enough for his master, Aizen, to entrust a lot of their group's most important missions to him. His battle tact is nothing to be scoffed at either, as he's able to correctly analyze the danger or lack thereof before him with quick and precise judgment. Number 4. Jin Ichimaru. No matter how much a snake sheds its skin, it's still a snake. This is Jin Ichimaru's famous quote, as from appearances alone, he screams snake, and his actions hardly disproved that fact. He works alongside Tosen and Aizen within the series, as he betrayed Soul Society and everyone in it, including his childhood friend, Rengoku. Though betrayal may be the defining feature of his character, he had another skin to shed later on in the series. He is a man who played the long game with Aizen, and his performance of revenge against Aizen was one of the biggest turnarounds in the series. He was always being careful not to let anything slip around his persona, and discovered abilities behind Aizen's powers, leading to the defeat of the ex-captain. Number 3. Ywach. Here we have another manga spoiler of Bleach, so please skip to the next character if you haven't caught up on the manga. Easily the strongest being within the Bleach universe here, at number 3, we have Ywach. The leader of all Quincy's and the endgame boss for Bleach, he made his Thanos-style entrance into the realm of anime in the upcoming 1000-year Blood War arc. Just like the Titan himself, his goals are to upset the entire cosmos, and ultimately wish to create a world that does not fear any form of death. His unlimited strength and sheer will make up his character, as he's able to command the last remaining elements of the Quincy race. He uses his power to take over the Soul Society and nearly end the world within the final moments of the 1000-year Blood War arc. Though his abilities and final plan were almost perfect, his almighty ability was not able to understand all outcomes of the future, and ended up being defeated by Ichigo. Number 2. Mayuri Kurotsuchi. The Gotei 13 have never been an altruistic or benevolent organization. This statement is even true after they were set up as the main antagonists of the Soul Society arc. As long as it's justified in the end, anything goes in the land of Soul Society. Enter former prisoner turned captain of the Research and Development Institute, Mayuri Kurotsuchi. Mayuri Kurotsuchi is the textbook definition of a mad scientist with no morals, and has upheld that since his first appearance in the series. But his intellect and cunning are indispensable in the eyes of the Gotei 13. He's the one to design a chair to hold the reins of Aizen, and through his experimentation, the Shinigami were able to reclaim their Zanpakuo and ultimately defeat Quincy. Number 1. Sosuke Aizen. It should be no surprise to any fan of Bleach that the former and disgraced captain of Squad 5 would be the most intelligent villain on this list. His ability to lull those into his own hypnosis forever is quite the ability, and very useful for any major villain trying to shape the world as they see fit. His intellect brings out the best of his power, and allows him to move forward with his very despicable goals throughout the series. Though his power and mindset make him one of the smartest anime villains of all time, all of the intricate planning and strings that had to be pulled to make it happen also led him to be the master of one of the greatest anime betrayals in history. And that's all for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, please let us know in the comment section below. It'd be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!